illustrious CV full of legendary names such as Paul Bocuse, Georges Blanc, Pierre Orsi, and finally an 11-year working relationship with Alain Ducasse, Jeremy Biasiol's pedigree is undisputed. Originally from Lyon, he came to Hong Kong in 2008 and made his mark on Asia's dining scene with the opening of the French restaurant Mirror.
In a radical move, he opened employing his ex-students straight out of culinary school, where he was also teaching. Murat won him his long list of awards, including accolades from CNN, the Michelin Guide, and of course the Michelin. But the restaurant sadly closed last year. Welcome, Jeremy.
Always good to see you.
Yeah.
Always good to see you. Also.
Superstar number one, you.
So we're
You're
gonna.
the number one.
Okay, enough. So I'm gonna start with simple question. A lot of European chefs, young chefs, do the same kind of rounds around Europe, France, London, Spain, but you sort of did that, but then stayed with Alain Ducasse for 11 years. Why was that?
First of all, he was the first chef who really gave me my first job, I would say, the real job, when I was 17. So I'm a kind of a very loyal guy. So he also gave me many opportunities to travel. With him, I went to Moscow, London, New York, and so why not stay with him? As long as I was happy with him, why not stay with him?
And there was never a part of you that said, I need to go and work with Adria, or I need to go there and just broaden my culinary base?
But actually, I worked 11 years with Alain Ducasse, but every 3 years, I was changing restaurant with Alain Ducasse. You know, Alain Ducasse is a fine dining, but also a casual restaurant. And so for me, it was a good opportunity to see different things, but with the same person, which I feel a bit comfortable in one point or another. And also I was looking for evolution in my career. So longer you stay with someone, logically,
Sure.
you evaluate in the hierarchy of the kitchen.
And on the hierarchy, you've obviously worked in kitchens that operate on very strict discipline, almost military style discipline. When you came to Hong Kong in 2008, after having such a long history and that sort of thing, did you find working with the local chefs, was it a challenge and any different?
I will remember for the rest of my life, my first day as a teacher in the school. I have 30 Hong Kong guys in front of me, and I was like, what to do, what to say. The basic things as for a chef, like cutting hair, have the nails clean, uniform clean, all of that was all wrong. So the beginning was kind of very tense, because for me it was totally a new way of doing things, and I was lucky I worked in New York a little bit before. That teach me to be a little bit more patient, but it was a strong start.
And do you think France is still has that hierarchy and strict control in kitchens?
I think yes, I would say this is in the culture of culinary way in France. I don't say all the restaurants are like that, but even small restaurants in France have very strong discipline. Most of the story you ask of a famous chef when they learn in very small restaurant, when they were young, they will tell you the same thing. Oh, the guy was kicking my ass, I have to go outside, peel the potatoes, very strict military and working hours. So yeah, I think it's changing, but it's still that way.
You spend a lot of time with the youth of today and are part of making sure that the people that do come into the industry can cook. When you started cooking, do you think that the attitude towards work, especially now that everybody has a smartphone, they're always connected to Facebook or whatever it is, do you think the work ethic is different from when you started cooking and the way it is now?
To be honest with you, I think now for a young chef it's more easy than it was even when I started cooking almost 18 years ago. Why? Because now when you don't know something exactly, you connect through your iPhone, who is Joël Robuchon, who is Alain Ducasse, clac, boom, you know right away who is this person. So you have no excuse now to say I don't know, or I don't know where to look for. Even at my time, I'm gonna make me sound like I'm 90 years old. Even like my time, you still have to look, go to library, or go to book. Internet was not as fast as it is now, so you still have to make some research and be curious.
Sure.
And I think I will say you have a positive and negative effect now. You make them curious, but you make them lazy. So.
And do you think, I know when I first got into it, you couldn't take a personal telephone call at work. Now everybody has a phone. Now they're sort of at work and they're not sort of at work. In Mirror, did you allow anybody to use phones at work, or was it just when you're at work, you work and that's it?
I allowed them to use phone at work. I have this concept at Mirror that they can do almost whatever they want during the working time. The only things I want is the job to be done properly. At the moment they respect the simple rules, they can do almost whatever they want. But I was very, very strict on the way the work has to be done. Anyway, when you reach a certain level, you have to be that way. Yeah.
Sure. And at Mirror, you received a star, then you lost a star, then you got a star, and it affected your business in a huge way. What do you think about that? And how's that changed your perception of these reviews and all of these sort of things in the market?
So first of all, when I opened Mirror, I didn't look for the Michelin star.
Sure.
They approached me around a few months after we opened to say that they would be interested to put me in the guide as a recommendation. Then of course it's a dream of mine because I'm a big collector of Michelin guides since I'm 14 years old. So for me it was like, wow, my God, I'm touching my dream. Then the star came very quick at a moment when I think I was not ready to have it. Then it kind of stopped my creativity part because suddenly I say, oh, I got the star, so I will stick in that box and I will do what I think they wanted me to do. Then,
so sorry to interrupt you there. Do you think that you actually started to cook for accolades rather than just cook what you wanted to do?
In one point, yes. In one point, I was cooking every time thinking, if that's the guide will like what I'm doing now. And I forgot the most important part, which was, that's the people will like what I'm cooking now. And I start to stop having fun and put pressure on myself. Then of course, when you get a Michelin star, suddenly you become part of the elite of the chef. So suddenly offers come to you, go do some magazine here, go do some interview, guest chef there, and you start to get more and more absent and doing other things than what you're supposed to do. Then 4th of December, disaster arrived. I lost my Michelin star and my world collapsed, business collapsed, and he put me on my knees, to be honest. Then I looked the team on that day and I said, guys, what we do now? Because they saw it affect me a lot. And I said, what we do? They were crying in front of me. They didn't believe it was happening. And they thought it was their fault. You see, even to talk about it now, it still make me very feel uncomfortable. It's a subject can be painful. Sure. Then they say, chef, we are behind you. Chef, we continue. And I say, okay, then we go, we get it back. Then things financially start to get a bit complicated, and I have to take the decision to say, okay, or we continue one more year at that, or I have to borrow money and put again into the business, or then I say the challenge, the target is to get it back, and after we see what we will do. Then after, with business partner, with the staff also don't really want to continue things, it was time to stop. So it's been a lot of circumstances make it stop, not only the Michelin star, but because here restaurant is a big trend and you have to change all the time if you want to keep surviving. So, but we end up, as I say, in fireworks.
Sure.
So it was good, and I also explained to the Michelin guy that it was too late, but they were okay with the decision. So
we chatted a little while ago to Richard Ekebus, and he said that operating in Hong Kong is probably one of the most difficult cities in the world, and we don't dispute it. We've got staff shortage problems, we've got high rental problems, we've got food cost problems, but yet still everybody does it and they enjoy doing it. And you straight back in.
But because I like Hong Kong, so I think Hong Kong is very similar as a feeling as New York, where I was before. It's a city that never stops. and keep changing permanently. So you always have something keep you going. Even sometimes you want to say, God, I hate this place. 2 hours after, you're like, oh my God, I love this place. So it's a place I feeling. I hope this is where I will stay for a very, 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 very long time.
You say it's one of the best cities you've lived in?
Yes, one of the best. Yeah, I think it's one of my favorite cities. Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for coming and chatting to us. It's always a pleasure to chat to you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
And that's the end of our chat today with Jeremy. Thanks for joining us.